Hey everyone, welcome in. Today we're diving deep into a field that's, well, it's really shaping the future. We're talking about automation engineering technicians. It seems like everywhere you turn, it's robots this, AI that, automation changing the game, right? And, a lot of people are wondering, like, hold on, what does this mean for me, for my job?
Oh,
Well, that's exactly why we're here. We're going to break down the world of automation engineering technicians, what they do. Is it the right fit for you? How do you even get started? And we've got some awesome sources from RoleCatcher.com to guide us. So buckle up, get ready for your crash course on this future-proof career.
you hit the nail on the head when you mention all this automation talk. It's kind of funny though, right? We hear so much about automation replacing jobs. But the truth is, it's also creating a whole bunch of new ones.
Yeah, it's like this rise of the machines is also opening up opportunities for the humans who can, well, handle those machines.
Exactly. And that's where automation engineering technicians come in.
Okay, so let's get down to it.
Yeah.
What do these tech wizards actually do?
They're like the bridge between those big ideas for automation and actually making it all happen in the real world.
Okay, I like that.
So they're working directly with those automation engineers, taking their designs and, turning them into reality. We're talking robots, control systems, the whole shebang.
So instead of just dreaming up a robot that can, say, I don't know, sort packages, they're the ones figuring out how to actually make that robot work.
Exactly. Building it, testing it, troubleshooting when things go wrong, which, let's be honest, happens, and then fine-tuning it all to make sure it runs like a well-oiled, or should I say well-programmed machine.
You could already picture it. Some high-tech factory, robots whizzing around, sparks flying. Sounds pretty exciting.
It definitely can be.
But you mentioned PLCs earlier, programmable logic controllers. I know those are a big deal in automation, but could you break down exactly why they're so crucial for these technicians?
You bet. Think of PLCs like the brains of a lot of these automated systems. They control and keep an eye on all the machinery and processes, receiving signals from sensors, and then they trigger actions based on, well, pre-programmed logic.
So it's all about creating this seamless automated ballet of action.
Please, Seth.
So an automation engineering technician needs to be fluent in PLC programming, essentially telling those machines what to do and when to do it.
You got it. And it's not just about one type of machine either. We're talking robotic arms, conveyor belts, those complex control panels you see in factories. They need to be able to work with it all.
Okay, so we're talking serious technical skills here. But RoleCatcher mentions that it's not just about being a tech whiz, right? There's more to it than just knowing how to code or operate machinery.
Oh, absolutely. You can have the most brilliant automation sequence all designed out, but if you can't communicate that to the team, to the folks on the factory floor who are actually going to be interacting with it, well, it's not going to be so brilliant anymore.
So being able to explain what you're doing, how the system works, that's just as important as the technical know-how.
100%. You're always collaborating. Engineers, other technicians, people on the production line, you've got to be able to explain those technical concepts in a way that everyone gets.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking technical expertise, problem solving, clear communication. This is starting to sound like the ultimate career trifecta, but I'm guessing it's not without its challenges.
You're right. It definitely has its challenge. Think about it. You're in a fast-paced environment. You've got to think on your feet. These are intricate systems. You're troubleshooting problems as they pop up, and the technology never sits still, right? So you're always learning.
Definitely not a job for someone who gets bored easily.
You got it.
But for those who love a good challenge, who get excited about being at the forefront of technology, it sounds incredibly rewarding. But let's get real for a moment. Everyone wants to know, what's the job market really like for automation engineering technicians? Is this career path as in demand as everyone says it is?
Oh, it's definitely in demand, and it's only going to get more so, like way more so.
Okay, but how much more? Give me the numbers.
All right. Hold your horses. Let's see. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, so they're projecting that employment in this field is going to grow, get this, by like insert specific percentage from source material percent over the next decade.
Whoa, that's a whole lot of growth.
Right. And get this, that's way faster than the average for, well, pretty much every other job out there.
Okay, so this isn't just some like flash in the pan tech trend. This is a career with some serious staying power.
Absolutely. And that crazy high demand, yeah, that translates into some pretty sweet earning potential, if you ask me.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
RoleCatcher's data shows that on average, automation engineering technicians in the U.S. are making Let's see here. Around insert specific salary range from source material.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
And honestly, that's just the average. If you've got experience and you're working in the right industry, you can definitely rake in a whole lot more.
Music to my ears.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. It's not all about the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's driving this surge in demand? Why are companies so desperate for people with these skills?
You know, it really comes down to one thing. Efficiency. Like, that's the magic word. Businesses, I'm talking every industry, manufacturing, obviously logistics, healthcare even, they're all jumping on the automation bandwagon. Streamlining processes, cutting costs, the whole 9 yards. And to do that, well, they need people who actually know how to make these systems work to keep those robots humming.
So it's not just about, like, robots replacing human workers.
No, it's about, working smarter. It's about taking those repetitive tasks, those things that are honestly kind of boring for humans to do over and over, and letting the robots handle them.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And that frees up people to focus on the stuff that really requires, that human touch, problem solving, being creative, that kind of thing.
Oh, so it's like a partnership. Humans and robots, each doing what they do best.
Exactly. And that's what makes this career path so cool, if you ask me. You're not just like working with cutting edge tech, you're actually shaping how that technology changes the world.
Okay, I'm sold. But let's say I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, this sounds amazing, but where do I even start? Like, how do I actually become an automation engineering technician?
Well, most companies are going to want you to have at least an associate degree or maybe a certificate in automation engineering technology.
Okay.
Now, a bachelor's degree, that's obviously going to give you an edge, especially if you're hoping to move into a leadership role later down the line.
Makes sense.
But, like we talked about earlier, nothing beats real-world experience in this field.
So how do you get that experience if you haven't even landed your first job yet?
Internships are awesome. They give you a feel for what it's really like to work in the field, and you can actually use the stuff you learned in school. Apprenticeships are another good option. It's like a mix of hands-on training and classroom learning.
Nice.
And honestly, don't underestimate those personal projects.
Oh, you mean like building your own robot in the garage?
Exactly. Even if it's something small like a home automation system, those kinds of projects can really help you build those practical skills. And it shows employers that you're really passionate about this stuff.
So it's not just about, like, listing off all the software you know how to use on your resume. You want to show them you can actually do something with it.
Exactly. All right, so let's talk about job interviews. Any tips on how to really knock those out of the park?
Oh, I'm all ears. What kind of questions should people be prepared for? Like, what are hiring managers really looking for?
It's funny, right? It's not just about knowing all the technical jargon, though that obviously helps. What really makes a difference is showcasing your passion. Show them you're genuinely excited about this field.
Right. Enthusiasm.
Yeah, and, don't just say you're a problem solver. Show them. Come prepared with real examples of how you've tackled challenges in the past.
Ooh, stories. Everybody loves a good story.
Exactly. Stories make you memorable. And don't be afraid to get into the details, Talk about the steps you took, the tools you used, the thought process behind it all.
So you're saying really paint that picture for them. Show them you're not just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. You've got a system.
Exactly. Now, another thing that can really make you stand out is, demonstrating your knowledge of what's happening in the field. Like, stay up to date on the latest trends.
So you're not just a fast learner. You actually, enjoy learning. You're actively seeking out new information.
Exactly. Read industry publications, go to a webinar, that kind of thing.
It's about showing that you're not just there for a job. You're there to be a part of something bigger, right? Like, you're invested in the world of automation.
100%. And that, my friend, is where RoleCatcher really shines. I mean, yeah, it's great for finding job postings, but their career guides, pure gold.
I know, right? I was just looking at their guide on career stages for automation engineering technicians, and it's super interesting to see how, like, the responsibilities and opportunities change as you gain more experience.
Totally. I mean, you're not going to start out designing complex systems on day one, right? You're going to be learning from more experienced folks, getting those foundational skills down pat. But as you grow, you can move into, more senior roles, troubleshooting those really hairy problems, even designing systems yourself, managing projects. It's pretty cool.
So there's definitely room to level up in this career.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, that's what makes it so exciting. I mean, think about it. Automation technology is only going to get more, automated, right? So the demand for people who know this stuff inside and out, it's not going away anytime soon.
So whether you're just starting your career journey or you're looking for a change, something that's, both challenging and future-proof, it sounds like automation engineering technician is definitely a path worth checking out.
You said it. Totally. It's like anyone can say, I'm a problem solver, but if you can tell a story about a time really had to dig deep and figure something out, that's going to stick with them.
Oh, I totally agree. It's like those aha moments when you crack the code, so to speak, and
Yeah.
the robot finally does what it's supposed to do.
Exactly. Those stories show that you can think critically, you can troubleshoot, all that good stuff. Oh, and here's another tip. Don't be afraid to show them you're keeping up with the latest and greatest in automation.
So you're not just stuck in the past with like outdated tech knowledge. You're on top of your game.
Exactly. Read those industry magazines, attend a webinar or two, just stay curious. The more you can show that you're really invested in the field, the better. And speaking of resources, RoleCatcher, it's not just about job hunting there, right? They're career guides. Seriously helpful.
I know. I was just looking at the one about career stages for automation engineering technicians,
Yeah.
and it's really cool to see how, like how much room for growth there is in this field.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not going to be the one designing those super complex systems right out of the gate, right?
Right.
But as you gain experience, those opportunities open up. More responsibility, maybe even moving into a leadership role. It's a pretty exciting path.
So it's a career with like real long-term potential, not just a stepping stone to something else.
Absolutely. I mean, this whole automation thing, it's not slowing down anytime soon. If anything, it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty energized after this deep dive. It's amazing to see how much automation is changing the world and all the cool career opportunities that come with it.
It really is a fascinating field.
And on that note, we've covered a ton of ground today. What automation engineering technicians actually do, the skills you need, the resources that can help you out, and of course, the awesome job outlook and earning potential. But now, it's your turn. Think about your own career path, your own industry. How is automation changing things up? Could this be your chance to dive into a whole new, future-proof career? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of automation engineering technicians. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next deep dive.